with your snack and snacker stars. It is me, the BRE, the man in the backwards hat, Brandon from the SAS, the Snack Food Appreciation Society, coming at you once again with another exciting edition of Pizza Night on a shivering Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been back from the freezer aisle and I met a celebrity. And oh, was it a good time. I'll be right back to figure out which third of the crust is the bad one on this edition of Pizza Night. Never fear, Pizza Night is here. Grab yourself a can of beer for Saturday night. That's a shivering Saturday, February 16th, 2019. And today, as it is a shivering Saturday, we move to the freezer aisle. And in the freezer aisle this week, we find Oprah That's Good. Hot, nutritious, delicious pizza. That's right, brought out by Oprah Winfrey. This is her classic crust with a touch of cauliflower. Now, like I was saying, they advertise that it has the crust is made of 1/3 cauliflower. So that's interesting. And this is an uncured pepperoni pizza that is so delicious, you won't taste the difference. So that means it tastes like every other pizza? I'm not really sure about that. And there is Dusty right there, looking nice and spry. She hasn't been in one of her videos in a while. Say hi, Dusty. Oh well, she's not very interested in that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this box, flip it over. What's the twist in our pizza? 1/3 of our classic crust is made with cauliflower, baked to a delicious golden brown. So good you'll never know the difference. And they have other pizzas, 5 cheese supreme, and fire roasted veggie. And there is the queen herself that many want to run for president, but it looks like she's not going to. I'm not among those folks. But hey, who knows? Stranger things have happened. Alright, there you go. Of course, she's been known for going up and down in her weight throughout the years, so this is kind of an interesting choice to have this delicious, nutritious line of pizza, supposedly. Let's see here. Go ahead and open this up, turn around. Right before we open it up, and they want us to follow these instructions. Cook before eating. Well, no duh. Do not thaw pizza. Remove from box. They want us to preheat the oven to 400. Place the pizza directly on the middle rack, and then bake it from 18 to 20 minutes. Or 21 minutes. And so we'll be checking that probably within about 15 minutes at the very latest, because we know that I have an electric oven now and not real sure how that's going to fare here. Let me go ahead and take this thing out of the box and show you it in its frozen form. It's still in its cellophane wrap because I don't want to get any cheese or anything all over the table here. And it's also, of course, on a piece of cardboard. Lots of pepperoni on there. Very surprised by that. Looks like you have some evidence of a sauce there on the edge of the crust. And a pretty decent amount of cheese. So as far as frozen pizzas go, doesn't look too bad. Let me go ahead, get this thing out of the wrapper, put it in the oven and bake it. And we'll be right back with this edition of Pizza Night. Alright gang, we're back to take a look at Oprah That's Good pizza. Classic crust, pepperoni. And this is what we got after about 12 minutes. I decided to go ahead and check it after about 10, and I noticed that it was pretty much done, except for some of the cheese wasn't melted. Some of the pepperonis, including that guy right there, were starting to curl up and brown a little bit. So I put it back in there for about 2 more minutes, and this is what we got. We got substantial browning around the edges of the cheese, which I do not mind. Caramelization is good. And we got some more curling and browning of the pepperoni, which again, I don't mind either. That's very, very, very desirable to me. Alright guys, that looks awesome. This thing was about $8, but then we had a coupon that took $1 off, so that made it about $7. You know, that's about average for a decent quality frozen pizza these days. Let me go ahead and grab these pizza scissors here and put them to work on this pizza. I went ahead and cut this bad boy into 4ths, and as I started to cut it, I noted this funky smell in the air. It smells like somebody's been boiling some broccoli or something in here. It doesn't smell desirable, which leads to the question, which third of the pizza is made with the cauliflower? Is it this third over here? The middle third? The side third? Or have they gone with like a Y cut And you got 1, 2, 3, and one of those thirds is cauliflower. I'm not really sure, guys. Alright, guys, I'll be right back. Once I show you this, the side of that pizza looking okay. Nice and brown on the bottom, too. We'll be back to put this pizza in my mouth and let you know what I really think about it on pizza night. Alright, guys, I feel like I'm taking my life into my own hands here trying out this pizza. I've been kind of delaying it for a long time because I just wasn't really sure what I thought about this pizza. I was like, well, maybe it's going to be good. Maybe you can't taste the cauliflower. Or maybe you can. Again, I'm like, which third of the pizza has cauliflower in it? Of course I know it's just mixed in the crust, guys. I'm just pulling your leg. Don't think I'm a dumbass or anything like that. But, yeah. This pizza looks okay. Looks like a regular pizza. But there is just a waft of vegetable funk in the air. I will tell you that much. Let me go ahead and pick up a piece of this. Like I said, I only cut it into fourths because I really wasn't trying to have these tiny little bits of pizza here and there, you know, to try to sample. Show it to you next to my noggin the way I always do as Miss Sparrow walks by, one of the Trouble Twins here at Pizza Night headquarters, SAS headquarters in Maryland. Alright, guys, I'm just babbling to delay this because I'm just not too excited about it, but when you can smell the vegetable over the pepperoni, that's kind of scary. Well, it smells a little better now. Maybe it's cooked away. I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and take a bite. What can I say, guys? This is one of those cases where your scent doesn't necessarily lead you to your flavor so much, because this pizza tastes a lot better than I ever thought it would. It doesn't taste like it has cauliflower in it. The crust doesn't taste like regular crust, by the way. It tastes like a crust that may have some kind of different spin or seasoning on it, rather than something that's got cauliflower mixed in or any kind of other, I don't know, pureed vegetable of any sort. But, yeah, I think this pizza is actually pretty darn tasty, guys. Oh, God. Be still my heart. Let's build this thing from the bottom to the top the way I always do. It's got a nice thick crust, and that's surprising for Oprah's Pizza to me, because she's a very rich person, and I've noticed that a lot of rich people and upper crusters, if you will, the one percenters, are into a real thin crust. In fact, my ex-boss, who thinks he's an upper cruster anyway, would say, oh, I don't want pizza unless it's got that real thin crust. 5 reals. Like, okay, so you don't want crust? That's almost worse than like that Little Caesars commercial where the lady's got to put her head down on the table to see the crust. You know how I feel about crackers and ketchup, so I shall move on. The crust is tasty, and this is really the star of the show here, guys. It's got its own flavor to it, and it cooked up really well, and I'm glad I kept track of this thing, because if it got out of hand, it probably would be pretty bad. But it's darn good. It's got a nice crust to the outside of it with a crunch, and then it's kind of pillowy on the inside and top, which makes it feel like a nice firm bed. I like that. The sauce is okay. It's a little bit tangy. Actually, I think it could use a little more sauce than what you see there, but that's okay. I'm not always into a ton of sauce, but in this case, I think it comes together pretty well, and may even need a little bit more sauce just to give you a slight bit more lubrication. Get to that cheese, and it seems like it's pretty decent quality mozzarella type cheese or what have you for a frozen pizza. Not the best, not the worst, not a lot of stretch or anything crazy like that, guys. We're not, eating ourselves a gourmet actual pizza from a restaurant. But, yeah, this is a decent and passable cheese. The pepperonis were surprising. They were tasty. They were zesty. A little bit of spice. I like how they kind of browned up a little bit, got a little stiffer, a little more leather to the action going on in the texture, guys. I like that, and surprised that an uncured pepperoni delivered that for me today. Yeah. All in all, blend those flavors together. You're not talking about pizzeria pizza or anything like that, but you're talking about a decent tasting pie. So all that put together, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a good 3/4 thumbs up. I'm very, very surprised by it, guys. Is it as good as, say, a DiGiorno or a Screamin' Sicilian or something like that? No, not quite. But it's pretty darn good, and I think I'd probably get it again. So, anyway, thanks for watching. 3/4 thumbs up for Oprah's Big Pizza today. Oh, that's good. Got my O face on for this one. Took a little bit, but yeah, it happened. And what do you think about it? What do you think about plant-based crust? Although it's not completely plant-based, maybe that's the future. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in a keto diet and everybody's, not eating carbs. And that's, that's been happening for years, whether it's the Atkins diet or the keto or the paleo or whatever it might be. It's just more of the same, guys. And what I'm saying is, I think it's time you actually enjoy your food and don't worry about it so much. Life goes on until it doesn't. That's all I gotta say. Alright guys, check out all of our exploits on social media. Join us on the Facebook group by clicking on the link in the description down below. 1,000 of the coolest people in the world are in our group, and you should be too. Why aren't you? Also, check us out on Patreon. We've got exclusive content galore now. A whole half a year's worth of exclusive videos are on the Patreon site that you can actually watch. So it's something like 27 or 28 videos now that we have in the archive that you can't see here on regular old YouTube. You gotta go through the Patreon like a magic portal. You know what I'm saying? So I suggest that you do that as well by clicking on that other link in the description down below. Also, check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Brandon Reich SAS. I've got tons of thoughts about just about everything in the whole world, including food and professional wrestling. And I had a great time at Nova Pro Wrestling last night, guys. Great to see everybody once more. And then also, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you use the hashtag Snack Society all day, every day. That way you know what we're eating and we know what you're eating too. So make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And in the meantime, in between time, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.